I don't know why, but I just can't really get into Borderlands, even though single-player looter shooter should have been perfect for me. But don't let my opinions discourage your hype from the upcoming Borderlands 4. I don't really care about it too much, but some people do. Randy, this game better not be $80! Yeah, that's unfortunately wishful thinking on your part. The game is definitely gonna be $70 at least, just like a lot of modern AAA games in the future. Don't you just find it amazing that the Game of the Year contenders of this year are not only less than $70 but also have no DRM and yet sells incredibly well? A lot of gamers aren't gonna pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. Hey, I don't like the $80 price tag either, but game companies are well within their rights to sell games at that price and destroy the sales of their games with that price tag. Not my call. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Yeah, I think you're confusing real fan to corporate bootlickers. They're not exactly the same. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. Yeah, not a fair comparison between Sega Genesis games, which are all physical copies at the time, and Borderlands, a game that can be easily distributed digitally. If you want to buy $80 games, that's your wallet at the end of the day. Unfortunately, my economy is screwed right now, and I don't have time to play games, so enjoy your $80 games, guys. Speaking of my screwed economy, we got more hooplas to discuss in this video, and I would highly appreciate it if you assist my screwed up economy by clicking the like button, comment, subscribe, and leave some tips through any of the means, including the new YouTube channel membership. Links below. Bungie's reputation right now is at an all-time low ever since the plagiarism accusations, and things are getting worse for them. Former Bungie employees said that working with engineering or marathon leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating, and that their leadership needs to be gutted immediately, especially that guy who bragged about having 2 cars while their employees were laid off, and I will never ever shut up about that because good lord, what the hell was that? According to another report, Bungie developers have been voicing concerns about Marathon's direction for 5 years. 5 years! That's absolutely insane! Many people said that the game needed a PvE component, but senior Bungie doesn't want that. Even the game director said, nah, this game isn't for you. I have no idea what Bungie was thinking. If you're gonna bring back Marathon, why not bring back the original Marathon games? At least those games have some form of unique aesthetic, groundbreaking backstory, and most importantly, originality. Those games deserve a remake, System Shock remake style, not whatever this sad excuse for a shooter is. Moving on from corporate greed of one company, we have the corporate greed of another company that apparently goes unchecked. The Switch 2 is definitely not a console that I am buying day one, but there are those with more money to burn than me, and this guy is not happy that is the case. Just know that any person you see with a Switch 2 is the type of person that doesn't care about the grand scale of things. That's pretty much most consumers in this world. Most people aren't paying attention to the state of the gaming industry, the same way most gamers aren't paying attention to the state of the combine harvester industry. They care about their selfish wants of having a Switch 2. Yeah, how dare people buy products to serve their needs? Bro, I don't like the Switch 2 either. I talk about this extensively already, but I'm not gonna bash anyone who thinks that it's worthy of their money. If you buy Switch 2 and you loved it, that's great. I'm happy for you. But this person is clearly not happy when others are happy. It's honestly kind of sickening knowing that despite the horrendous things Nintendo is doing with or regarding the Switch 2, people will still buy it. Yes, that's the harsh reality of the world in which we live in. People are going to buy a product you hate from a company you despise. That happens all the time. You can't control those people, and there's nothing you can do to stop those people. That shouldn't discourage you from not calling out Nintendo when they screw up, because they absolutely do. They have no self-control or societal awareness. No. And I don't blame them. Those people got way better things to care for than the gaming industry and Nintendo screwing things up. They clearly have their priorities, and I'm not the judge of their life. It's up to them and what they think is more important. Unfortunately, Nintendo as a company is too prideful to take responsibility, apologize, and improve from people's criticisms. They'd rather DMCA their customers. If companies screw up, there's really nothing wrong with apologizing and taking accountability. Baldur's Gate 3 is a fantastic game. I finished it and I absolutely loved it. However, check out this nightmare-inducing products. Look at these bootleg models featuring Asterion, Shadowfart, Fail, car crash, late Zell. It gives the Esse Homo vibes, doesn't it? At least the Esse Homo painting sparked tourism interest and saves a whole Spanish town. Though really, that happened, and it was a pretty wholesome news at the time, so thanks for that blessed news. WizKids, the creators of these awful models, apologized, as they should. That still doesn't dismiss the hilarity of these models. They are still very funny looking. These models involve fictional characters, but there are some people that do not like the idea of fiction in general. This is such a bizarre assessment. I never get the point of comparing things to 1984 or Brave New World. What do you mean? A lot of the plot points of those two books are quite reflective of the society that we are living in right now. Using fiction as a reference towards real-life situations is nothing new. In fact, it makes it easier for people to understand certain things, like comparing AI rebellion to Skynet. They are made up. Why is this what's informing our worldview? Yes, they are made up, but they are not used to inform worldviews. These fictions are meant to be entertaining, first and foremost, but it is possible for people to learn from them or use them as a reference. The problem is, they're using it as a reference in a horribly wrong way. I am anti-fiction more generally. Why don't you learn about things that actually happen? Because fiction is entertaining. Seeing characters getting through all sorts of tragedy and hardship is intriguing and captivating. Seeing worlds that are radically different than ours is fun and interesting. There's nothing wrong with learning things that actually happen. I love true crime. I love to know real history. But their appeal is different to fiction. I am anti-fiction as a method of understanding human behavior. Well, I don't use fiction to learn about real life in general because humans are more complex than fictional characters. But that doesn't mean you cannot use fiction as a reference or to make it easier for people to get the picture or to get people interested in certain topics or subjects. Look to how people actually behave, not how writers think they behave. If you want to learn real history and real human behaviors, I agree, but if you just want to enjoy something, it's really not that necessary. But hey, at least fiction is made by human beings. Here's an event celebrating anime. Anime Expo. Here's Anime Expo ruining that celebration by promoting voice acting workshop with AI generated garbage. Seriously, you have all this budget making this event and you don't have money to commission an art? You want to know how this is AI art? Look at the background anime characters. Look at those details. Notice the many wrong aspects of it. The eyes, the clothes, the mouths, etc. The guy on the front seems fine, right? Until you look at his nose. Look at his nose. Nose smell like garden hose. What deranged looking form is that? Look at the wires of his headphones and how they don't seem to go anywhere. His left hand fingers are broken. I mean, good lord, what is that? The XLR cable of that condenser microphone also leads to nowhere. The shock mount of that Blue Yeti lookalike is not properly set up. It doesn't even have a grill. This is AI garbage, plain and simple. To think that anyone would find this remotely acceptable is an absolute disgrace, especially to an event that is supposed to be celebrating anime. What a shame. The arrogance of AI bros truly knows no bounds. This person drew Black Ops 2 Zombies drawing, allegedly with a pencil. The problem is, this drawing is not drawn by a pencil. It's clearly AI generated. If you just pay attention to how this gun looked, it looked like it merged within itself. And here's the arrogance coming. Imagine drawing for hours just to get called an AI. Oh, this AI bro has definitive proof that the drawing is not AI generated. Here's the proof, right? No, it's not enough proof because the drawing of the gun is not the same as the final result. Also, what the hell is going on with that pencil? What's going on with your knuckles? And why does it look like it's fusing? Even my proof is AI. Yes, your proof is AI. It's clearly evident by just looking at it. Bro, I could live stream the entire sketch and you'd still say the Wi-Fi is AI. You could, but you wouldn't, would you? Also, the Wi-Fi is not AI, unless you count DHCP as AI. You're not looking for truth. You're looking for comfort in your disbelief. And you're looking for attention. Congratulations, you got one. You want a speed drawing like this is a circus act. I love how you say that speed drawing is a circus act. That just shows how little respect you have towards artists. Typical AI bros, right? I draw when I feel, not when strangers on the internet demand proof like I'm on trial. You are on trial, and we do demand proof. Art isn't something I owe you. No, but you do owe everyone the truth. The sheer amount of arrogance from AI bros are genuinely astonishing. Rest in peace, translator jobs. I apologize on behalf of all Indonesians for this stupidity. This is the Google CEO Sundar Pichai demonstrating AI translation conversations between someone who speaks English and someone who speaks Spanish. I understand that there's a big discourse of people hating localizers, and I don't like those localizers either. But regardless of who does the job, human translation is still necessary to provide genuine context between two languages, because some contexts are totally missing when you use machine translations. Some Indonesians provided excellent examples of when machine translations are totally out of whack. For example, Indonesian machine translations translate red cameras to red cameras, as in a camera that is colored red, not a camera with the brand red. Gemini managed to distinguish the difference, so good on you, Google, but this is still ridiculous. Horrible machine translations are especially very prominent on subtitles. This person from the movie The Gifted is named Grace, but the machine translation translates the name Grace to Grace as in she's graced with bad translations. This scene from I assume is one of the Arrowverse shows has the character saying toast, but the machine translation translates toast as in the bread toast. This scene from the 2014 movie Noah has Russell Crowe saying that he's Noah, but the machine translation translates it as Noah, separated, with the word no as in Noah translating to no as in no, this Noah translation is not correct. You might say that it'll get better in a year or two, but we've had machine translations for decades, and it's still missing out context. I recently watched the movie Companion. It's a good movie, but the Indonesian subtitle that I downloaded online is clearly machine translated and never manually checked, because the characters end up speaking absolute gibberish that only barely made sense. The human touch is still necessary with these translations. They just need to come from actually competent people rather than entitled localizers or arrogant AI bros. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. Before we close this video, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.